Yeah.
The reality is that Kaizer Chiefs has to come to the realization that, guys, every week when we talk to you about your team, you guys are the third worst defense in the league. Third worst defense in the league.
Sure.
Conceded 31 goals. The only two teams that have conceded more goals is AmaZulu and Marumo Colors. If TS Galaxy was playing, maybe they'd also be sitting down there somewhere.
Yeah.
He pulls it back. Rasmus Højlund. Thunderous. It's an absolute net buster. Rasmus.
Hello, and it's a warm welcome to the Diski Preview Show. And today we're going to be taking a look at an iconic game that will be taking place at the FNB Stadium, where Kaizer Chiefs, Amakhosi, will go head-to-head with Amapagania. That's Orlando Pirates. My name is yours truly, Mr. E, and I'm joined in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mr. Mo in the studio. He's here to tell us what his thoughts are about the game. And by the way, congratulations on your predictions for who was going to go through to the finals of the CAF Champions League.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are not
breaking moment for Amapagania.
You know what happened?
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah.
So the next day, right, it happened.
Yeah.
And I watched it here at the office.
Yeah.
And then I left, I went home and I posted on my social media. I was like, you guys don't take me seriously.
Yeah.
That's fine. So,
I saw that.
Yeah, so I posted it everywhere.
Yeah.
The next day I met the boxing.
Yeah.
So boxing arena, boxing fans.
Yeah.
I'm the ring announcer.
Yeah.
Now I'm there in my beautiful suit.
Yeah.
I bump into one of the Grootmans,
Yeah.
very legendary boxer from back in the day, Uwe Bimnis.
Yeah.
Bump into the man.
Yeah.
He comes to me and says, no, what you said is okay.
Yeah.
But the problem is that it broke our hearts.
Yeah. Yes, I know. Umayela, he broke the hearts of many guys, or rather, many fans at Orlando Pirates. Marabe Smakhuzile. Yeah, I know. There's one of the big fans for Orlando Pirates in Soshanguve. Ngimchelile. And you need to be on the lookout for Umayela. He was like, no, TLB, hey, Coco Melon. Yeah, Bodle. I was like, okay, it's fine. But he bought me some drinks when we met the following day after the loss. Yeah,
I'm just letting you know the job is getting dangerous.
Yeah.
Because when you have a whole boxer come tell you that, hey, chief, what you said is okay.
Yeah,
but I still hurt my feelings.
With a big fist like this.
I'm looking at him like, brave, you don't know how. This time I'll predict it your way.
Yeah. That's the most beautiful game of football on the planet. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be taking a look at this game in detail. As promised, let's get straight to our big game that's going to take place at the FNB Stadium, where Kaizer Chiefs will be playing against Orlando Pirates. And by the way, 7 days later, they get to meet in a Nedbank Cup final clash. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, man. Let's quickly take a look at the teams before we get deeper. The contracts to inform. We've got a Kaizer Chiefs team. I think they've gone like 5 or 6 games. They haven't won.
They're 6% form.
Yeah, and then at the same time, we've got the CAF champion semi-finalists, the Pagania, going head-to-head with them. And at stake, it's 3 points. Who's taking it?
That's the thing. You know, Mr. E, this one, I don't want to predict it up front because now it just crossed my mind.
Don't worry, the boxer won't do anything to you.
No, he won't do it. He's probably going to laugh at me when he says, hey, Chief, I saw you mentioned me.
Yeah.
But we have to remember that this is going to be a different, it's going to be a different experience, this one.
Yeah.
Because for one, Soweto Derby, and it's a league followed by Soweto Derby in a cup. It kind of, the one affects the other. Obviously, you're going to be thinking about the cup. You'll be thinking that we need the cup more than the league.
Yeah, I think that will be Kaizer Chiefs because as far as the league is concerned, they've got nothing to lose besides the fact that they want to finish in the top 8. But Orlando Pirates, on the other hand, after picking up a few trophies, I think they'll want this one more than Kaizer Chiefs.
But Mr. You have to be honest. At this point, Kaizer Chiefs, like I said a few weeks ago,
Yeah,
I said if Nabi doesn't come back with a trophy of some sort, And I remember I said it in conjunction to the performance at the time. I said, listen, no matter what happens with him in the league, no matter what happens around Unabi, he can't afford to come back empty-handed to Naturena.
Yeah.
He can't afford to come back and say, guys, Ngzamile, here's a top 4 finish.
Or top 8.
Exactly, because there's not that Kaizer Chiefs is starved for points.
Yeah.
They're struggling in the league, yes.
Yeah.
But for them, their objective overall will have to be a cup. Because now those fans don't believe in the club anymore.
Yeah. The follow-up question to you would be, if Kaizer Chiefs wins this trophy, this cup, this Nedbank Cup, do you think it's going to be a successful season, even if they end maybe out of the top 8? Because the last time they won a cup, well, they would have stopped or ended the trophy drought.
Yeah, I mean, the last time they managed to secure anything worth bringing home was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
So the reality is that they will have to make it work somehow.
Yeah.
The reality is that they have to make it work somehow.
This is the trophy that they need more than anything else right now. They would rather lose all the other remaining games, or it is 3 or so, but pick up this trophy here so that at least there's celebrations at Naturena.
And the thing is, will those celebrations be able to, how do they say, putting makeup on a pig?
Yeah.
Not saying that Kaizer Chiefs is a pig, but
yeah,
it will just close the cracks.
Yeah.
But it won't necessarily be able to say that
to look
we have a tangible future ahead of us.
Yeah.
In terms of what we have as a team at Kaizer Chiefs, there's a lot they have to do.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time. If the club is patient, they'll get there.
Yeah.
But if the club is not patient,
Yeah, I mean, they've been going through difficult times. I think I remember when we started the year, they had defensive frailties. They tried to solve that by bringing in the likes of Miguel and Udove, and then now it looks like the goalkeeping department now has fallen apart.
It has.
I think Bruce Vuma has been making so many mistakes, and that's the same type of mistakes that Peterson was doing, and the same type of mistakes that Akpe was doing. What is happening there? Do you think maybe it's time they bring in the experience of Fukune?
Bring him back how, Mr. E?
Well, maybe in a goalkeeper position, goalkeeper coach position.
See, that's the problem with course is that we like the past too much. Yes, then now it's time to look to the future. Why don't they go find a player, good DDC, who's a good goalkeeper, and just back him?
Oh yeah, and by the way, congratulations to the Kaizer Chiefs DDC team for clinching the championship with 1 game to spare.
How does that happen?
I don't know. Maybe the elders the senior team must start learning a thing or two from the juniors. I mean, or maybe Uveli Kumalo must try and must be roped into the first team.
But the problem is that even if you rope him into the first team, he's not going to bring those players up.
Yeah.
The reality is that Kaizer Chiefs has to come to the realization that, guys, every week when we talk to you about your team, you guys are the 3rd worst defense in the league. 3rd worst defense in the league.
Sure.
Conceded 31 goals. The only 2 teams that have conceded more goals is Amazulu and Marumo Kalan. If TS Galaxy was playing, maybe they'll also be sitting down there somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at, in terms of attack, offensive play, where Kaizer Chiefs is supposed to be sitting in the top 3.
Yeah.
They're sitting all the way down in 7th. They've conceded, they've scored 25 goals.
Yeah.
They have a goal per game expected, goals per game expected of 0.96. So you have less than 1 goal expected every time you guys step on the pitch.
Yeah, sure.
Mamelodi Sundowns has 2.2 goals expected every time they step onto a pitch.
Which is almost twice as much as the one for Kaizer Chiefs.
if you take the logic of goals under and goals over, you're looking at a situation where your team is not expected to score 1 goal.
We saw that when they played against Marumo Gallants. They were the first one to score through that scorcher from Olilepo. And then the second thing, mistake after mistake. They lost the game, the 3 points. Gone.
Exactly.
Just like that.
So you have to ask yourself that question and say, as a team, what are we celebrating when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs?
Yeah.
What is it that we're saying that has improved under the new coach?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this because I'm attacking you. I'm just saying, when we have this conversation in the streets about where Ikosi is versus where Pirates is, we have to start by asking, okay, what stats are you looking at?
Yeah.
What metrics are you looking at? What are you highlighting? What are you not highlighting? Because everyone will tell you league position, but it Chiefs is 8.
Yeah.
Well, is this not the same position they were in last year?
It is.
So now the reality is that how there
hasn't been any improvement.
You understand? It's almost as if
yeah.
But any coach, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, but we're still talking about Kaizer Chiefs. We've had a couple of coaches being chopped and changed from the last time they were in the final of the Champions League up until today. Nothing has changed. Players have come in and gone. Surely there's something wrong besides the coaches in that space.
Mr. I don't want to even comment on what could be wrong besides the coaches, but all I want to say is that at some point we have to come to the realization that it's either we own up and we pull up our socks and say, or maybe
they need a chemical engineer.
Maybe they need a chemical engineer.
Once.
But we can't say this at work, Mr. E.
Oh yeah. I retract that.
Yeah, we'll retract the statement. They don't need a chemical.
Yeah.
But at Oksala, Mr. E, that's when you talk about Kaizer Chiefs form, you're looking at those things. Their position in the league.
Yeah.
Also, more importantly, what their influence has been to the league. I mean, they're sitting 8th at the moment.
Yeah.
They don't have any contributors to the top goal scoring charts.
Yeah.
They don't have any players we can say have stood out. On days like this, Ashley Dupree can just wake up and have a stellar performance.
Yeah.
And then we forget about the season he's had.
Yeah.
And then for the week, social media is like, yo, I'm on Ashley.
Yeah.
For that one day.
Winner.
For the one day. But that's the thing. There's no consistency. And it brings me back to that conversation I always have.
Yeah.
The system and not the players make football.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Kaizer Chiefs. They focus too many times on individuals, on faces, on names that can come and fix a problem that is not a problem that is down to the players themselves. It's down to the system, the understanding. We saw with Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
El Ahly petitioned to go have the stadium be packed for the first time in over 10 years.
Yeah.
They applied, can we please fill the stadium for his Sundowns?
For his Sundowns. That shows how big Sundowns is.
And Sundowns started that game.
Yeah.
The whole time they were saying Faganuzwane.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And they played about Adams. They play. You know what I mean? So it shows you the thing we've been saying about Sundowns. The system.
The system is
the system works.
It's
not the players. Mukwena didn't score a free kick.
Yeah.
And win them the game.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Shalil didn't score and go celebrate and win them the game.
Yeah.
It shows you that the system needs, if you have a system in place, other opportunities come around because your system should be able to take your ball from the goalkeeper to the final third.
Yeah.
From the final third, it's up to you how you get the ball into the back of the net.
Yeah.
Whether it's a fortuitous chance, like what we saw with Mamelodi Sundowns against Al Ahly, where the ball bounced around the box and went into the back of the net.
Yeah.
Or if it's a goal. You understand? Like we saw with Mayela.
Yeah.
You have to have the system in place. Right now, you're going week in, week out. You're a very big structure in South African football.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like every week you're gambling.
Yeah.
Understand? You're just giving us.
And surely it does feel like that.
You're just giving us 11 players.
Yeah. Because every time I take a look at the first 11 for Kaizer Chiefs, it's different faces all the time. I mean, like this time around when they played against Marumo Gallants, we saw first 11 Quinica. Like, oh, okay. And then I also saw Mashian. Big gamble.
So the question is, who's the spine? Who's the spine of the team?
Yeah.
Who are the 5 players who make the team
the spine?
solid?
Yeah.
Goalkeeper, 2 center backs, 1 holding midfielder, maybe 1 striker.
Yeah.
What's your spine? This whole season,
no spine at all.
Liverpool just won the league.
Yeah.
Van Dijk, Salah,
Yeah.
and Gravenberch
Yeah.
are the only 3 players that started every game
game.
of the season in the Premier League.
Yeah.
If Alisson wasn't injured, he would have also started. He was the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It would have been the spine of the team would have been those 4 players.
Yes.
The consistency with those players.
Exactly.
So now you don't have a consistent spine in your team.
Yeah.
You're chopping and changing. 1 week your captain's on the bench. 1 week he's in the pitch. 1 week he misses the penalty. Everyone is against him. You understand? And I see they've even changed the translator.
Yeah.
So, so
I wonder who's going to be changed next. maybe the kit manager or something.
yeah, no, I must check that one.
Yeah,
you might attack me in the comments. But
Yeah.
hey, what do you know about our translator? I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, but you know, it's not happy days at all at Kaizer Chiefs. I think Nabi is trying his level best to win at least something. But looking at this game, the Soweto Derby, this is one game that he wouldn't want to lose. Number one. Number two, the Nedbank Cup. This is one game that he wants to win. So, but they're coming against the Orlando Pirates team that is in form. That's been to the semi-finals of the Champions League. That's currently sitting at position number 2, and they are in contention for the Nedbank Cup. So, surely it's not going to be an easy task for Kaizer Chiefs to win those 2 matches, crucial matches.
Mr. I think we have to be honest about where Orlando Pirates is. We can't put them on a pedestal and act like they're not struggling. I mean, in the last 4 games, they have 1 win.
Yeah.
2 draws and 1 loss.
Yeah.
So it tells you that in the last 4 games, they're not doing well. Obviously, overall, in the last 7 or so games, they've been doing quite well. They have 4 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. But you have to be honest when you say they've hit a rocky patch of form.
Yeah.
And, a friend of mine, Untara, once said, you need a group of players you can finish the season with. It can't be the same guys you start with.
Yeah.
What he means by that is that
you need to refresh your team all the time.
In football, in soccer, everyone is studying what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone is watching you do your job.
Everything that you're doing.
And then they get to a point where they understand how you win your games. Then they try to get you out of that rhythm.
Yeah.
If you look at where Sundowns was at the start of the season, and you look at who the influential players have been, that spine is still there. Lyndon Mokoena is still the spine,
still there,
pivotal to the team.
Yeah.
But if you look at around them, players have been changing. Abu Salih sales have come in.
Yeah.
Abu Adams have come in. You understand? Reyners is sometimes in, sometimes out.
Yeah.
So it shows a good team. You are trying to maintain your system while also confusing the enemy.
The enemy, yes.
With Orlando Pirates, for a long time, it's always felt like they have one or two options on the bench.
Yeah.
And the depth is not there.
Yeah.
And that depth, it comes from the fact that you have a linear style of play. You have one or two options you can switch up front to make the style of play change.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened against Pyramids. When a team goes punch for punch with Orlando Pirates, they can't keep up the intensity. Because
they retract.
From that 2-2 to 3-2, you could see the Pyramids could tell, or we can rock that defense.
Yeah, we can do that.
There's no confidence back there. We can be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I also told a lot of people that, listen, Pirates have not been that far. There's no such thing as a miracle team in soccer anymore.
Yeah.
You understand? That ended with Leicester City.
Yeah,
when they came into the Premier League, won the Premier League with the coach was the first time season. He just arrived. The key players have just also arrived. That doesn't happen anymore in football because football, right now you have video analysis. You have video analysis. People can pick up players' habits. They know where players are going to be. They're going to try and exploit that. And the worst thing about video analysis is that everybody always looks at it from an attacking standpoint.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what happens when they analyze your defenders going backwards?
I've seen that happening with Unabe last time. I think he said in his interview that when they analyzed Mamelodi Sundowns, they noticed that Suarez, one of the defenders for Sundowns, he always is a little bit sluggish when he gets that back pass, and they utilized that by using Uduba to try and press him up, and then they ended up getting a ball. It shows how dynamic and how football has changed over the years.
It leaves you in an informed position, but also remember very key is that as a defender, I'll tell you, I've played centre back. I think my preferred position in football is centre back, but I sometimes like to strike.
Then you end up in front.
You know what I mean? Everybody has that thing.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll tell you about playing centre back, Mr. E, is two things.
Yeah.
One, an understanding. An unspoken understanding between two players at the back. If there's three of you at the back, an unspoken understanding of who runs that back line.
Yeah.
That understanding provides you with, like look at every team. When you talk about I'll go to a Manchester United, Vidic and Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Vidic was the hothead.
Yeah.
Yes, that he'll commit. The brains was Ferdinand. You look at Liverpool now, Konate and Van Dijk, Matip and Van Dijk.
Yeah.
You look at John Terry in his time, Carvalho and John Terry, Pepe and Ramos. You need someone who's going to be able to be the guy who's in charge of that backline.
Yeah.
Who's able to tell us we're stepping up, we're stepping down.
Yeah.
Watch the left, watch the right.
Watch the right.
Someone who can communicate.
Yeah.
I remember there was an interview they had with Peter Cech, and they were asking Peter Cech, what is the one thing that makes Peter Cech so special?
Yeah.
And all the players around him said, in a corner situation, you only hear Peter Cech's voice.
Yeah.
He's telling you, look there, look there,
very well.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing about video analysis.
Yeah.
They're able to see, okay, this is the strong side defensively. So we're not going to go via Mr. E that side.
Yeah.
We're going to go via this side.
The weakest side.
Exactly. Because Mr. E can see what's going on there, but he's blind this side.
Blind this side.
So that's what happened when you look at Orlando Pirates against Pyramids. They knew where the outlet was. They knew Gutinai N1's Hamanga. The same way a lot of teams have always tried to take advantage of Trent Alexander-Arnold with Liverpool.
Yeah.
The same way a lot of teams have tried to take an advantage of Chelsea through Reece James.
Yeah.
Because you can tell when a team is lopsided. I always say teams are how can you put it? I always put it as a team is right or left-handed.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
Most of the goals will come to the right if the team is right-handed.
Yeah.
So if you block the right hand,
Yeah.
you're forcing them to make the left hand work.
Yeah.
And because football is a game of habit,
Yeah.
players who are usually playing in support of someone can't make decisions that will end the game. So most times this goal deficiency at Kaizer Chiefs is because maybe the outlet for them is we have to get the ball to Uesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when they're in positions to finish, they don't finish. They look for the star.
Yeah.
They look over that's some thought.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the same defensively where all the time like I said, Kaizer Chiefs has Orlando Pirates has a culture of stars.
Yeah.
So now, right now, Urele is the star.
Yeah.
How many opportunities have been wasted looking for Urele?
For in a straight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once you know that, they're gonna look for Urele all the time.
Yeah.
You bulk up your defense that side because you know that you're forcing them to play on the other side.
On the other side. Yeah.
Where it's uncomfortable because they know everything they wanna do has to end Urele.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if let's say, I'm not saying it's true.
Yeah.
If Utito gets the ball and I'm playing defensive midfield,
yeah,
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shield the side where
Urele is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that
I'm
he doesn't
forcing
get
him to
that
go
pass.
there,
Yeah.
and make decisions that way.
Yeah.
Whatever's gonna happen that side,
yeah,
they're not gonna go finish.
Yeah.
They're gonna go to reset. Because football is like that.
Yeah.
So I think they have to do a lot of introspection as Orlando Pirates. They have to also look at how to rebuild what they've built. What they did in the CAF Champions League was amazing.
Yeah.
But they have to look at that habit.
Yeah.
Of always looking for this one player.
Yeah.
Always looking for this one player.
Oh yeah, are you breaking it down for us so nicely? I think one of the other things that other aspects of the Orlando Pirates football is that they're so dynamic in attack. I've seen them using the right hand side with Unkota. I've seen them using Urele and also Uhoto from the left hand side. But they can also come through the middle of the park where there's Umbata and so on. So, Kaizer Chiefs on Saturday is going to hand. The Kaizer Chiefs defense is going to have a torrid time when they play against the Orlando Pirates.
Well, Mr. E, when you look at it, what you just explained is good and all, but when you look at the stats themselves, Mabasa has 5 goals in 18 matches. Umakhopa has 4 goals in 17 matches. Urele has 4 goals in 20 matches. And there's the thing about it. It's spread. It looks like it's a spread.
Yeah.
But it also shows you that there's no proper outlet. That everyone can get a goal, which is a very creative team.
Yeah.
But these goals, the thing about stats is that you don't know if these goals were at the start of the season before egos got involved, because people tend to overlook media. The influence of media on soccer is crazy. Because the moment they start singing your name, you want to show what's Imlo. So those stats, yes, all in all, everybody's been scoring goals. But you must look at when and where they were scoring goals. Understand? If evidence Makhopa has been scoring goals, was it from crosses that came from Urele? Understand? Or was it when Rele was playing false 9? So that's the thing about stats that I always say is that you have to be careful when you look at those kind of stats, because you think that goals come from everywhere with this team. But the reality is that they're coming from one place. And for me personally, I think Orlando Pirates are very. I think with Dion Hoto balances the team out. Because he plays on the left. Urele plays on the right. And then between them was Utito. But the moment they lose a player like Dion Hoto, there will be an exposure in the team.
Especially on in the defensive line.
Exactly. And I think, honestly speaking, I don't wanna say anything, that Kaizer Chiefs chase on. But if Riviera was to get another team in Europe at this point, I think the only player he would come back for would be Dion Hoto.
He's a hard worker.
I think
his work rate is very, very high.
Give that man a raise.
Give
him whatever.
Give him his flowers as well.
I must give that man a raise.
That's Umo for you. He's telling us what he thinks is happening at Orlando Pirates. And now let's look at Kaizer Chiefs. Who do you think will be the responsible man?
I think
to score the goals.
I think from Kaizer Chiefs, they haven't gotten the best out of Mdusha Balala. I think they put him too much on the wing. Utuba, he's been dangerous, but supply is not plentiful. Kaizer Chiefs just needs to fix the midfield. They have to decide what they're doing. It's either Gaston Serino is always there or he's not. It's either that Mart is always there or not.
Last time I saw what's his name, the other guy, Castillo.
Yes.
I saw Castillo again. So it actually shows that as you mentioned earlier, that they don't have a proper spine. It's more or less all about trying and testing and trying combinations. But we're already at the end of the season right now. Still, there's no proper combination of players that Nabi wants to play.
My ending statement is this. Everything in life is built on chemistry. And if you don't put two people in a space where they can work it out, you will never be able to get the best out of those two people working together.
Yeah.
So if you're going to chop and change midfielders, which you're already doing at training, what do you expect is going to happen to them when they come into a big match like this?
Yeah.
They won't have an understanding.
Yeah.
You understand?
And they won't have any time to try and make it work.
Exactly, because half of it is you know, that ability to make a pass from hearing someone's voice.
Yeah.
Without looking up, comes from understanding that kind of if you know who Mr. E, you know who's talking. I heard him in this direction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass it that way.
Yeah, and he's moving at this speed.
But if you don't have the chemistry with him, you're gonna put up your head and look around.
Yeah.
So the reality is that Kaizer Chiefs has to fix the chemistry in the midfield.
Yeah.
They have to allow the team to gel. Right now, they've got players who are at the back end of their careers. They don't have time to gel.
Yeah.
They're already stars. They've already achieved everything they want to achieve.
Yeah.
So that's why it's working with the DDC side, but it's not working with the top.
With the senior team.
You're chopping and changing. Let these guys get to know each other.
Yeah.
Let them build the chemistry and understanding.
Yeah.
Then from there, you'll be able to then say, okay, fine, can do but benefit from the passes that are coming from midfield.
Okay, fantastic. Now let's get to the thick of things, Mr. Moore. You know what the question that I'm about to ask you right now. The action is going to take place at the FNB Stadium. Time 3 o'clock. The game is going to end round about past 5. Yeah. Who do you think is going to take away the 3 points?
I'm gonna be snacks with this one after talking all the smack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that one thing I will say is that whoever wins this game won't win the cup.
Oh yeah,
that's my first statement.
You're correct. You're correct.
Whoever wins this won't win the cup.
Yeah, you're correct.
But if anyone's gonna win this match, I think it'll be Orlando Pirates.
It will be okay. So Orlando Pirates is in a better space to pick up the 3 points.
I think Orlando Pirates will win this game.
Did you consider the fact that they're gonna place Kukune before the game on Saturday, and Kaizer Chiefs is going to be well rested? I think more than 7 days of rest.
But Kaizer Chiefs, their mind won't be on this game.
Yeah,
it's almost as if you're asking them to play a Soweto Derby.
Yeah,
we saw the last time that it didn't end well for both sides and ended in a draw.
Yeah,
but last time they played at this venue, but. Honestly speaking, Mr. E, I mean, when you look at it, the Kaizer Chiefs at this point, it's like asking your friend who's distracted to drive a car.
Yeah,
he's going to crash with you. So I think Kaizer Chiefs at this moment are heavily distracted because they know that now Orlando Pirates have only one trophy they can collect, which is the Nedbank Cup.
Yeah,
what happens in the league, they can fix later. But they will tell themselves, guys, that cup.
Yeah.
So I say Kaizer Chiefs is distracted.
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates will win this game.
Yeah.
I say you'll see a different Kaizer Chiefs on the 10th of May.
Yeah.
They will definitely win that cup final.
Okay, so we're going to come back again to the studio in a couple of days' time to talk about the Nedbank Cup. But you're already saying the team that's going to win on Saturday
won't win
the
next week. Yeah.
So those will be your predictions.
Those will be my predictions.
So I'll remind you. I'll remind you.
I'm not like Utisha. I don't say things and run away.
Those are the predictions of Fumo. What do you think is going to happen at FNB Stadium on the 3rd of May when Kaizer Chiefs goes head to head with Orlando Pirates? Do you think Kaizer Chiefs will stop Orlando Pirates, or they'll rather concentrate on the game that will take place on the 10th of May at the Moses Mabhida Stadium, where the Nedbank Cup final will take place? Let us know in the comments section. You didn't ask me what my prediction was or is.
I was going to ask you. Just remember now that when we watch post-match interviews from this game, they're going to be saying, we don't care about this one as Kaizer Chiefs fans. It's
Funa. But I think I think you're spot on. I think Orlando Pirates is in a better space to win this one, and it's the favorite to win it again. Yeah, I think Kaizer Chiefs will want the bigger picture, which will take place in 7 days after the game.
Did you hear the tactics of the Kaizer Chiefs fans?
Yeah.
They started booking all the B&Bs.
Where in why?
So that when they go watch the game, it's only them.
Yeah.
And the Pirates fans don't have space.
Oh, that's so much for the game of football. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's, this exciting episode of the Diski Preview Show. My name is yours truly, Mr. E.